right, we're going to record our worksheet answers today. If we have the absolute value of x, that's our V shape, move down 3, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and our slope of these lines are 1 and 1 and negative 1. Question number 2, we have the absolute value of x minus 3. Since it's in the absolute value, we're going to be moving it 3 to the right, which puts me over here. Question number 3. If we have the x squared plus 1, we know x squared is the parabola. The plus 1 moves it up 1, so I have a graph that looks like that. Number 4, we have x plus 1 quantity squared. Since it's in the parenthesis here, then we know that we're moving it the opposite direction. I would move it 1 to the left, and it would look like that. Kind of goes off the graph. Question number 5, we have our square root graph. Our square root graph looks like this, but since it has the 4, we would move that. We would move it right there. Number 6, we have the square root graph minus 4. Since it's not in the square root, we're moving it down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it would look like that. Number 7, we have a parabola. Its vertex will be at the opposite of this, so a vertex is at 2, negative 5, so over 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's our vertex, and our graph is going to look kind of like that. Number 8, we have the absolute value. Remember, it's the opposite of this number, so my vertex is at 2, negative 2, 3. So over 2, up 3. There's my vertex. Get the V shape. Number 9. We have the square root graph. Our vertex is going to be at negative 1, negative 5. Negative 1, negative 5 is down here. And from there, we're going to make the square root graph that looks like that. Number 10, our vertex for this one is at the opposite of 2, which is at negative 2, negative 3. So negative 2, negative 3 is right there. And since it's an absolute value graph, we're going to have a V. Number 11, we have the square root graph. Our vertex is at 2, 1. And it looks like that. 12, we have the parabola. Its vertex is at 2, 3, so over 2, up 3. There's our parabola. Nice if I could hit those. Number 13, we have the square root graph. Move down 3. Here's 3, square root graph. 14, absolute value with a vertex at negative 2, negative 4. Negative 2, negative 4 is right there. And since it's an absolute value, we get a V shape. 15, we have a parabola with vertex at negative 3, negative 1. And so we make the parabola graph from that vertex. Number 16, we have a parabola with its vertex at 1, negative 1. 1, negative 1's right there. And since we have a negative out front, we know our parabola is going to open down from that point. 17, we have the vertex at 1, 0. So over 1, up 0. We know because of the negative here that it's going to open down. And the last one, we have a absolute value graph, vertex at negative 2, negative 1, and it's opening down, so it's going to look like that. Call it October.